but at the same time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to amuse him, wanted to inform him that he was not left behind. And then he was taken to that journey. And the journey is described as Subhanallah Asra, glory to he who took him by that night journey from one point, meaning Masjid al-Aqsa, Masjid al-Haram, the Mosque of Haram in Mecca, ila Masjid al-Aqsa, to the Mosque of Aqsa in Palestine. It means a lot. It means the compression of time and space. I think if Abu Bakr anhu, was not a very strong believer, he wouldn't have believed him. Because those days, if you can tell somebody that time and space can be compressed, that time and space are relative, then they would not listen to you. But today, of course, when you travel by plane, when you travel in a rocket or spacecraft, then you also see the relativity of time, especially in relation to space. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Prophet best of the thing because he gave it ahead of time. And he took him from that place, Mecca, to Bayt al-Maqdis, and the caravans used to travel it in 3 months. And one night, the Prophet ﷺ was taken to that journey to be amused, at least to be attracted back, to be given high morals, because he was a human being. He was a prophet, but he was a human being, and all those sequences of sorrow events really demoralized him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not only take him from Masjid al-Haram to Bayt al-Maqdis, to compress space and time, but from there also he took in the Mi'raj. Then it has a two component, the component of Isra and the component of Mi'raj. Al-Isra, from the journey of Mecca to Bayt al-Maqdis, all on this wall of physics. And from there, the other component is the journey of Mi'raj, which is in the world of metaphysics. Because after that, you go, penetrated the galaxies, he was shown a lot of good things, and then he went to where I and you do not know, meaning penetration of the world of physics and the world of metaphysics. So the other significance also in this journey is the issue of abd. Allah says, Subhanallah asra bi abdihi. Allah, glory to he who took his servant. So the issue of servant, of servitude, is another very high position that the Prophet acquired, and a position that all good men and women, all awliya, are trying to acquire, what we call being a servant. The moment that you get that position, being a servant of only Allah, then you have a real independence. Because those who haven't got that, they are still the servant of somebody else. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described the Prophet as his servant. Subhanallah asra bi abdihi. He didn't say Subhanallah asra bi Muhammad. Glory to he who took Muhammad. No. Glory to he who took his servant. And that's a very high position that we are all looking forward to attaining. And that was strengthened in the other verse. He says, فَأَوْحَى إِلَىٰ عَبْدِهِ مَا أَوْحَى in Surah An-Najm. He said, when he came to me from the first component of the journey, the first leg, to Bayt al-Maqdis, where he led the all prophets, then he was taken on Buraq to me. He came for Fatadana Fakana Qaba Qawsayn or Adana, according to some interpretations, very close to me. Then I revealed to him, to my servant, what I revealed to him. So this issue of servitude, this issue of servant, is very significant, and it has been illustrated in this Abdihi. And then the other thing is Fa'awha ila Abdihi, and Fa'awha ila Abdihi mean the Quran that was, at least the prayers that were given, which will bring us to the other thing. And the third significance of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj is about لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا. He said لِنُرِيَهُ مِنْ آيَاتِنَا, meaning we will show him, we will demonstrate to him some of our miracles, some of our attractions. If you ask to now, imagine those who travel on spacecraft, how many moons they see, how many stars, how many suns. We are living in the planet Earth, and you see a lot of fascinations in the tree, in the mountain, in the waterfalls, you see, in the birds flying. These are fascinations that will attract the mankind to understand that there is an intelligent designer of this universe. So when you penetrate the galaxies, you see a lot of wonders. How many millions of stars, how many, and then he was also shown the people of fire and the people of hell, of course, and the people of Jannah. He was shown a lot of miracles that will also to strengthen and to solidify his faith. So لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير, to show him some of our miracles, some of our attractions, some of our fascinations that we also showed to Moses and Jesus. That also happened. Then the last thing about the Isra wal Mi'raj is also min al-Masjid al-Harami ila al-Masjid al-Aqsa. Why? From the mosque in Haram to the mosque of Bayt al-Maqdis, which means that the Bayt al-Maqdis mosque is also a mosque that is very close to our hearts as Muslims. It's a mosque which all Muslim leaders were able to liberate from the hands of those who do not believe in God. Then Bayt al-Maqdis, because there are only 3 mosques to which you as a servant should, for example, tie your luggage to go on. The Prophet is saying was, La yushaddu rihalu illa ila salasati masajid. You don't go in a journey except to 3 mosques. One in Haram, Masjid al-Haram, and the other Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the third one is Masjid al-Aqsa, which is now under the occupation of others, and we Muslims have to make sure, or whatever is necessary, to make sure that it is liberated. Then Isra al-Mi'raj is an indication of the importance of prayer, because other pillars of Islam were prescribed on the ground. The Prophet was here in Mecca and Jibril was sent rather than him going. But when prayer comes, he himself was invited to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then, if you read the significance of prayer, if you read the, how to call it, Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, against the background of the 5 pillars of Islam, then you can see the significance of prayer. The second thing about prayer is that, it is the pillar of the pillars. You know, you have 5 pillars of Islam, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa iqamatu salat, ita zakat, sawm, ramadan, hajj. But then these 5 pillars have a pillar. What is their pillar? Is the prayer.
It embodies all the other 4.
Oh yes. What do I mean? Meaning a Muslim can be a Muslim, without fasting. Why? Because you have ulcer. A Muslim can be a good Muslim, for that matter, without going to Mecca.
If you don't have the means.
You don't have the means. A Muslim can be a good Muslim without paying a zakah once in his lifetime, because you don't have money. A Muslim can be a good Muslim only uttering Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah once in his lifetime. But a Muslim cannot be a good Muslim if you ignore prayers. That is why it is known to be the pillar of the pillars. And also another is that prayer, another significance is that in the Salata Tanha
anil fahsha'i
wal munkar. Prayer is that pillar which is designed to really help you or prevent you from falling into the trap of shaitan. Because this world is full of germs, is full of sin, and we are very weak as human beings. But then what will protect you, what will immunize you from going into the trap of the minor and major sins is prayer. Why? Because it is the pillar that will put you in a constant connection with the world of metaphysics. It is also important because if you don't pray the recharging of your battery, Allah, the Prophet is telling us that Muslims can wake up in the morning, Muslim, and then before the end of the day, they become kafir. And that is especially one of the signs of the last day. You are a Muslim in the morning, and before the end of the day, you become a kafir. Why? Because the battery is not charged. So those who are not charging their battery constantly by praying, they will just lose that charge, and then they are easy to be carried away by any temptation. So that is why these are all together the importance of prayer, which are tied and linked to the Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Like you've just started. Okay, as a prelude to prayer, one has to be in a state of purity. That is to say, one has to perform either ablution or tayammum, alluding to one's readiness to perform this act. Like the verse that you just mentioned is in Surah Al-Ankabut, in a salat tanha anil fasha'il wal munkar. Allah asserts that prayer restrains us from shameful and evil deeds. Tell us the connection between cleanliness and prayer.
Thank you very much. I said once again, see, prayer is the direct contact, constant contact with the Almighty Allah, with the world of matter. And Allah, in Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal. Allah is beautiful, He has beautiful names, and He likes beauty. So if you are even going to see a king in this world, or a president, or a minister, you take the best of your clothes, and then you go and take shower, let alone when you are going to meet the creator of the universe. So that is why He Himself didn't leave human beings idle. He guided them with giving them the prescription how to go and meet Him. That is why it would be called tahara. So the importance of purity